The movie begins at the Bruce Wayne mansion where his son, Damian Wayne, is playing with his cat pet. His cat plays the role of a supervillain in Gotham, while Damian acts as Batman. Alfred, Bruce Wayne's assistant, tries to get Damian to eat cookies before he goes to bed. His persuasion doesn't work as the kid is willing to become just like his father. He destroys and breaks almost all items in the house, and in process of chasing the cat, Damian falls through a vent. He finds himself in a cave with weapons all around the wall. Next, a person in black costume approaches him. It is Bruce Wayne, who appears to be so worried if his son got hurt from the fall. Bruce reminds him to be more careful and less destructive whenever he is playing superhero, but Damian protests that he is not playing, but training to be a real hero just like him. He wants to join Bruce to fight crimes, protect the weak, and punishing the wicked. But with times without numbers, Bruce has told him that he isn't ready for that stuff, because being a superhero takes focus, responsibility, and sacrifices. He shows Damian countless of injuries he has obtained from fighting crimes to prove how dangerous the job is. Even if he wants him to be a crime fighter, there isn't any crime left in Gotham to fight. He tells Damian that the day he found out he was going to be a dad was the happiest moment of his life. So the only thing that mattered to him is to prevent him from getting hurt. Before Damian was born, Bruce Wayne had worked overtime to make Gotham safe by fighting and placing all the villains in prison. In conclusion, he tells his son to just enjoy being a kid, but Damian doesn't want to be just a kid. To put a smile on his little boy's face, Bruce shows him his Christmas present and promises to open it after bedtime. Next morning, Alfred cooks breakfast for the family. Bruce and his son knows his food tastes like shit, so they had secretly prepared themselves. They share donut among themselves. To cheer up his son, Bruce handed his Christmas present to his son with the permission to open it. Damian unwraps the present and is happy to get his own utility belt, but get disappointed a minute later when he finds first aid and bat emergency whistle inside instead of weapons. Bruce clears out that weapons are dangerous for his age, and he will only earn those things when he gets older. While trying to persuade his disappointed son, Bruce gets an emergency alarm from his bat phone. It is a call from the Justice League, who pleaded with him to handle a crime in Nova Scotia since the rest of the heroes are busy. Bruce had no choice but to leave for the mission, but promises Damian to be back before Christmas. Damian begs to be added in the mission, but Bruce can't put his son's life at risk. Bruce changes into his bat costume and heads straight to his bat jet where Alfred had prepared everything for him to leave. Just when he is about to take off, a sound from his bag gets his attention. He opens it just to see Damian hiding in it. Damian begs his dad repeatedly to join on the mission, but this time Bruce gets angry. He takes back the utility belt he had given to him and dismisses Damian back inside the mansion. Batman immediately flies away, but as a father, he felt really bad on how he spoke to his son. Damian isn't ready to give up, but instead plans to work more harder to prove he's ready to be Batman. Alfred tries to make cocoa to make Damian happy, but Damian uses this to his advantage. He eats the final ingredient, the marshmallows, which is used to complete the making of the cocoa. Damian's plan really works when Alfred is forced to go outside the mansion to buy more marshmallows. The little kid is really happy that he can now train, without Alfred there to stop him. Bruce is seen in a snow mountain because his bat jet got damaged. When he calls the League of Justice, he realizes that it wasn't the Justice League who sent him on a mission, but the call is fake, just to lure him out of Gotham City. The scene changes to where we see some thieves stealing from the mansion owned by a wealthy couple. It turns out that they plan to rob all the mansions in Gotham City to ruin their Christmas. They sight the Bruce Wayne mansion and head straight to it for another heist. Damian sees the thieves sneaking inside, and he is scared because he doesn't know what to do in a situation like this. While they are busy stealing all the Christmas gifts, Damian runs to contact the city's police. But when he sees them taking his utility belt, he decides to handle this by himself and use this as an opportunity to prove to his father that he's ready. When Damian bravely confronts the burglars, they ended up laughing, but that suddenly turned into fear when he turns off the light. The criminals couldn't see, and they end up falling into his traps. The more they try to catch the kid, they keep finding themselves in more traps. The thieves decides to run away but stole some of the gifts, including Damian's utility belt. Damian chases after them and even engages in a fight with one of them called Terry. He is able to get all the gifts out, but fails to get his belt back. He swears to capture them, but this time he will need weapons. Damian enters his father's secret bat cave, and to his surprise, he finds a suit that his father had prepared for him. When he puts on the suit, he finds a robot version of Batman that offers to give him guidance during his mission. The robot acts like a dad to him and forbids him from going to any mission, but Damian disagrees. Without wasting much time, he activates Batman's bike and rides straight to where the burglars are to get back his utility belt. Meanwhile, there is something we find out about these burglars. Firstly, they are called Terry and Francine, who works for the Joker. The clown had sent them to people's houses in Gotham to steal from them so their Christmas will be ruined. Joker is furious when he finds out they lost all the items they stole, but gets really confused when he hears it was Batman's doing. We find out that it was Joker who had lured Batman out of Gotham City so he can successfully accomplish his evil plans. The henchman explains that it wasn't Batman but a kid dressed in Batman's costume who attacked them, all because they stole his utility belt. After watching a video on how the little kid smartly defeated his henchman, a new plan forms in his head. He sets a trap at the local toy mall with the assistance of Poison Ivy and Bane, who disguise themselves as an elf and Santa Claus. Damian shows up at the mall in search for his belt. He goes to meet Santa Claus to get a Christmas present, but after seeing through the disguises of the two supervillains, he proceeds to put up a fight. Damian defeats them using smart methods and ends up in the Gotham Street where he tries to retrieve his belt, but a mysterious person inside a Gotham Zoo van takes it away. The mall is totally destroyed and the city blames it on Damian, whom they perceived as the villain. The Joker is so excited because his plan is actually working. Meanwhile, Batman is seen struggling to make his way back home. He gets attacked by Mr. Freeze, who gives him a reason why his boss, the Joker, had to lure him out of Gotham. Batman realizes that the city of Gotham is in danger and his son will probably be in trouble too. On the other hand, Damian tracks down the van that took his belt to the Gotham Zoo. He sees his belt again, but when he tries to take it, he falls right into a sewers, which was obviously a trap set for him. Damian discovers the identity of the person who had taken the belt, the Penguin, who was also working for the Joker. The Joker appears on screen and as part of his plan, he mocks Damian that he can never get his belt back because he doesn't have what it takes to be a superhero. Penguin is old, weak, and pathetic, but dares Damian that he still can't take the belt from Penguin. Damian fights Penguin and chases the Penguin through Gotham, but in the process, he causes mass destruction at the Christmas parade and causes the floats to catch on fire. Penguin escapes with a parachute where Damian grabs him but falls after taking back his belt. The robot assisting him can save Damian from the fall, but reveals to him that it will be dying in the process. An important quality every good hero must possess is the willingness to make sacrifices. The robot activates the emergency inflation protocol that saves Damian's life, but it gets destroyed in the process. The whole city is in chaos, and when Commissioner Gordon is informed about it, he seems less bothered, but instead turns on the bat signal, believing Batman will show up as usual to protect the citizens. Meanwhile, Damian is found by Santa Claus and other citizens who begin to treat him like a villain because his antics have ruined Christmas. The poor kid is forced to run for cover, but just when he thinks he's all alone in the world, Alfred turns up to take him home. On their way home, Alfred tells him not to resent his father's actions because he was trying to protect one thing he has but never did, which is a childhood. Damian accepts that he is no superhero, but Alfred teaches him that being a superhero doesn't have anything to do with his belt, but it requires focus, responsibility, and sacrifice. While walking with Alfred, he sees a balloon message sent by the Joker and goes to check it out. Unfortunately, a gas comes out of the book and puts Damian to sleep. He wakes up to find himself in the Joker's lair, where the Clown Prince tells Damian he wanted to ruin Christmas with a crime spree as a means of getting more attention. Joker and the other villains tempt Damian into becoming a bad guy, reminding him that he has inadvertently helped the Joker with his evil plans. By becoming a focal point for the citizens of Gotham, Damian had allowed the villains to continue their crime spree unnoticed. They made him believe he isn't meant to become a superhero but a villain, and the proof was how he destroyed half of city in pursuit of his utility belt. Joker especially has seen how smart the little kid is and knows with his help he can finally destroy Gotham. The bad guys present Damian with his utility belt, which is now filled with explosives. This is his reward for partaking in the Joker's crime, but Damian turns down their offer of supervillainy and uses the explosive in the belt to destroy the villain's lair. Mr. Freeze had been hired to keep Batman busy, but the Dark Knight easily overpowers him. Damian fights with Joker and his gang single-handedly, although at first he seems to be gaining the upper hand, but the little kid gets captured by the villains. Just when they are about to finish him off, they get terrified by noticing a shadow pass them by. Guess who? It is Batman, who comes to his son's rescue. Batman prevents Damian from fighting, and while distracted in protecting his son, he gets knocked out with a hammer by the Joker. When Batman wakes up, he is so astonished to see his son's ninja skills, how he uses it to handle the villains. Realizing his son is ready, Batman handed him his own utility belt. Firstly, they defeat Dr. Freeze by destroying his ice tank. Bane, Poison Ivy, and Penguin is knocked into a chemical tank. The last is Joker, who points a sniper at the father and son. Damian throws a batarang that sends Joker fleeing in the air. Peace is restored once again, and Batman takes his son home to celebrate Christmas, but he gets a reply from Damian that they still have one last mission. All the stolen Christmas gifts are returned back to the people, which restored smiles and happiness on their faces. On their way returning home, Damian tells Bruce that he kind of feels bad for the Joker because all he ever wanted for Christmas is not to be alone. Joker and Batman are sworn enemies, but deep down, Damian thinks they both really like each other. At the end of the movie, the Joker isn't alone. We see him with Damian, Batman, and Alfred, who have invited the Clown Prince for Christmas dinner. Batman didn't want to have him at their dinner table, but it's clear that Damian persuaded him otherwise. As such, it's a happy ending for Bruce and Damian, who are reunited as father and son, and it's a happy ending for the Joker too. As Damian also proved his worth in battle, his ending is particularly happy as his father now knows he is capable of being a superhero. Thank you for watching, guys. If you love animation movies, please subscribe to this channel and keep watching. Merry Christmas in advance, guys. Bye.